everyone. Welcome back to the Iron Man Progress series. Today we're diving deep into the supply grind, knocking out the rest of the skilling goals we have, finishing the hard diaries. The kind of fun that makes you question your life choices, like ordering a salad at a pizza place. We're prepping. We have a long road of PVM ahead of us. Slayer, the Quest Cape, Zora, Corrupted Gauntlet, God's Wars Dungeon. But first, I want to bulk up my supplies because let's be honest, some of these bosses make you drink potions like an alcoholic during happy hour. We made some iron darts and house tabs from when we was editing our last video. 85 fishing to catch those lovely minnows. The goal, a jaw-dropping 10K sharks. You heard that right. This is like Shark Tank without the pitch. Selling pussies for death runes. I love those free death runes. Knocked out the Mage Arena 2K, one of my last early game upgrades. It's like the cherry on top of the magic sundae. Knocked out Darkness, a hollow fail. I lost a lot of footage, switching my recording setup, but some clanmates and friends and subs ran me through TOB entry and challenge mode chambers so I can knock out the medium CAs because I wanted it to do barrels later on for some tank legs, and I was trying to switch up skilling and burning out. Um, been skilling real hard for these last 6 months. It's been a grind, but we're closing in on those 10K sharks we had set, and I wanted to cook up all the food so I didn't have to stop and take breaks when we get to the point where we can actually boss after their corrupted gauntlet or do any other bosses from the Slayer grind or anything else. Ooh, a whopping 10K sharks. I planned on using the cooking gauntlets in the Hasidious range at 89 and not burning any. We started cooking with the food we had left over from Temperas after hitting the requirements for recipe for disaster. We have a bunch of herblore banked. I'm showing off right here. We've been on top of our farm runs. The goal here was push herblore, max out the pool, cook all the food, so that way when we hit the higher end PVM after corrupted gauntlet, we don't have to keep stocking and worrying about supplies. Cook carbs to 89 cooking. Then we switch to sharks with the cooking gauntlets in the Insidious range. You do not burn them. I'm a little head on audio, but as you will see, I will show the OSRS wiki to verify that information. I highly recommend it. Carbs wasn't bad. This was a long grind for me. Probably about 20 hours, but 5 minutes for you. Overall, well worth it. Ended up with a high cooking level. Didn't burn nearly as many Zammy wines as I would have if I did not cook my food. And then I had to just take breaks from PVM, and it gave me a good supply of Zammy wines to start for the herblore grind for my ranging potions. Plan on being cheap with those, really only using them for basilisk task and shamans in any raids in the future, but we'll see how that goes, man. We was grinding to shine, honestly. These cooking levels rolling in. Not gonna burn anglers. I did not cook my moonlight or cabbage, as you don't stop burning them until you get 99. Kicked off with the wildy agility grind, and as you will see, them looting bags are rolling in. Them agility levels are going up. I chose wildy agility to fund my herblore grind, as I knew I would need the desert hard diary, but instead of making unfinished potions, I gained agility levels, extra GP, combat levels, and slayer levels. It was well worth it. Pro tip along the way: keep 4 ruined chain bodies or kite shields out of your looting bag. So if you do die to a PK, you're only down 30k, and you can run protect item to help keep that fourth item. Bring some Phoenix necklaces and grab some entangles from the last man standing shop, and you could pretty much get away from any rag PKer. Stay safe out there, ladies and Dream Mentor up. Next, we're baking pies so we could use the dragon fruit so we could boost and make the Hunter Sunlight crossbow. As any quest boss requiring range, this would be very useful for it, and it is best in slot at Basilisk. Next, we set our sights on completing RFD, as Barrel's gloves are one of the last early game upgrades we need outside of the fire cape. Was bouncing between the quest lines here as I needed quests to do all the hard diaries and I wanted to finish Barrow's gloves. Evil Day was a pain in my ass. I had to literally write down the combinations of the spices, finished RFD, and as any Iron Man does, we throw that lamp in the herblore and obtain them juicy barrels gloves, which will be with us for a very long time. Started back working on the quest line that we needed to complete the RD hard diary, as we want them 5 farm runs a day. Now, finish the quest lines needed to complete the Koran medium and hard diary. Then started working towards the hard diary requirements for their desert. And then it was off to Slayer, which this was a nice break, bouncing around quest lines as I had a list that I had to do to complete the Fremnik and Lumbridge hard diary with the desert, and it felt good to complete. Buying this ancient icon, spending so much time at Pyramid Plunder, thieving, making battle staffs to build this ancient altar so I don't have to run through that pyramid ever in my account. Use the poison chalice to get that one crafting level to finish that. Started knocking out these hard diaries. More farm runs a day when we have a buku ton of seeds still. The plan is just to use up the seeds and then fall back on farm runs, as once you run low on seeds, you replenish. Most of my farming XP has came from tithe and then just allotment for compost and also just herbs. I'm really bad on doing tree runs. I will do trees for contracts. Trouble brewing is broken for fletching and cooking XP. Real good if you're starting out. I would highly recommend. You can easily use rumors to get your prayer level for that quest requirement. The goal from Barrels was tank legs, as coming back from a 5-year break. I am rusty as hell for a fire cape, so I wanted all the extra defense. As clanmates and subscribers ran me through challenge mode chambers and TOB entry to get the medium CAs. This is truly busted. Get the Aram's hood into into Gutton's chain, one of the worst tank legs. But hey, we got then else but to do it, and we did it. We went and got the boat pouches. I planned on storing the Diamond E and the Ruby E boats in here. Who knew the Ruby E would come back to bite me in the ass, as I died on my first attempt trying to lure the healers in the Ruby E procs. I die. Sad day. You could roast me in the comments. Second attempt, I basically get to this point, trying to get my recorder up. Jag comes up, one shots me. Third attempt was the charm, so I'll record it before Jad and after Jad. Fight caves done. Fire cape obtained. Now we could look like a Chad when we go back to Slayer. So for the herblore grind, we had to go out, get 65 Slayer at least, 400 Slayer points. There's the giant champion scroll. That's my second champion scroll, okay? First one's coming from the undead zombie pirates. Wrong drop worms. Wrong drop. Drop me the dragon harpoon, get a defense level here. But the whole time we was working towards the hard diaries, the Koran, the desert, had to go get the talisman. Now this was a pain in my ass, a 1 in 125. turned into a 1 out of 900 drop, wasted a lot of cannonballs. Knocked out the Shazian 5 as that would be huge to use with the Slayer helm for the Shaman task. Grab a Bone Crusher, start my Bone Mill running as keeping the charges on the Bone Crusher will be nice and free prayer XP from that. Go grab the Ash Sanctifier as all this prayer XP passively coming from Slayer is going to be huge. Not going to get 95 rune crafting this early in this account, so I'll take half the XP. That's really gonna help when we push prayer and we want to max the account. Do clues as they come, no rune, heraldics, crow's ears. Still missing quite a few items needed to complete some of them, but we knock them out as we get them. Strength levels coming in, working towards that 100 combat. Would love to hit 100 combat before we tempt the corrupted gauntlet. Go get Void Chin, 80 range, open a bunch of brimstone keys. Nothing major. Got a dragon hosta and I think a mystic piece. Got one from a Slayer task as well. The goal here is work through Slayer. Keep grinding, push 100 combat, chin, and push our levels higher for the corrupted gauntlet. First Dust Devil task on the account, iconic. Get a Dust Battle Staff, huge for making house tabs. Quality of life getting around the game. As now we are starting to make some decent GP from Slayer, so I decided to buy 40 bank slots as this is huge for just not having your bank crowded so much. Strength levels coming in, combat's going up, 92 farming. I don't show a bunch of farming, but I do snake grass and Hasidius. The only trees I really do are hardwood and contracts. I'm real bad about tree runs. I have a bunch of tree seeds, but not plenty of the good ones yet. So I kind of save them for contracts when needed. I still do a spory daily. I'm a good iron and I do my herb runs. It's breaking up. We finally reached enough points to buy the Slayer helm, which was huge. The last thing we was missing for the desert hard diary, so time to go knock that out and make the Slayer helmet and push the herblore. This is huge moment for the account. This is the last skilling grind. Low level Slayer is an exciting content. Hard Diaries is an exciting content. Questing is an exciting content. It's like watching paint dry. Boring. But at least you learn how to decorate, you know what I mean? But we've been on this journey to rush through that, stock up on supplies so we could really push the PVM scene, get this account into corrupted gauntlet. Once we get that bofa, the whole game opens. God Wars Dungeon, Slayer, Boss Task, Zora, and we can really get them crucial gear upgrades needed. And we have the supplies, we have the levels to easily do all the content in the game, and that was the goal. So we're going to keep working on Slayer. We're going to keep pushing our range level. We're going to keep grinding this account and knock those major goals out. As you can see, I'm completing the Desert Hard Diary, and you do not know how happy I was for this moment. Finally, I could go and buy my unfinished potions. A quick kingdom check. Let's get all these free herbs a man can get and knock this herb grind out. We're getting it. Next up, time to go buy them unfinished potions. There's 70 herblore, cleaning all the grimy herbs I had from rumors and whatnot. Slayer. Here it is, the big moment. Rest in peace to my cash stack. Nothing else to do but to do it. Made a bunch of amulets of chemistry. I plan on using those for prayer potions, brews, and staminas. And if I had any leftover ranging potions as well, we stocked up, had to go get some secondaries, more Meyer fungus, dragon scales, and red spider eggs. And these herblore levels start rolling in. one after another, left to right, up to down. Well, hopefully we don't go back down. I also do show in this video one of the OG methods of making stamina pots and irons. You decant all your super energies into one doses, and then you use, as shown, just your crystals. So that way it's one crystal per extra doses versus three crystals per extra doses. But hey, do what you please. I don't personally like rooftops, but if you do, go do your elk agility, boys. Making brews, first time on account, iconic. Not gonna use those unless we go to raids or next. Range and potions, we're just getting it, man. This account has so much supplies and it's so set up for the future. I really can't wait. Look at all these supplies. Look at all these potions. We attained the fire cape. We got barrels items. We knocked out hard diaries. We got the Slayer helmet. We are ready to start this layer and work towards them combat levels, void, and get to the PVM scene. We are no longer locked to skilling and grinding, and it feels so good. I wanted to make the ornate pool. I can boost to 87 for the anti-venoms, and luckily minnow fishing got me 87 fishing, or I'd have boosted that. Here we are making them anti-venoms. Magic roots, coconut, and arid leaves. Not the worst combination to make the antidote unfinished, but hey, it is what it is. When fish though, Zora scales so we can make those juicy anti-venoms to guess what? You know what's next? Build that ornate pool. Any account knows how iconic this is. This makes Slayer any PVM content in the whole game that much easier, that much better. Makes your player own house that much more useful. And as we have it this early on in the account, we plan on taking full advantage of having it. And here that iconic moment is all the grinding, all the sweat, all the blood, all the tears. It is built. It is achieved. We did it. This early on with that much supplies. We are ready for PVM and tackle the big ticket items. We plan on diving deep into Slayer and PVM content, finishing the quest cape, and then rushing towards the Bofa. If you enjoyed the content, drop a like, hit that bell icon to follow along my Iron Man journey. Thank you, and comment below your favorite old school RuneScape moment. Thank you, and see you in the next video.